Would you go on a ship and then just let the wind take you anywhere? Most of us are living our lives with that level of lack of intention and direction. I thought that I knew a lot about what I wanted, where I was going, and who I was until I reached my 40th birthday. I hadn't really planned what my 40th birthday looked like. I hadn't thought through what I really wanted to feel and experience. Creating a life that's truly aligned with what you really want from your soul's perspective, because I think deep down inside, we're all looking to be saved. We're looking to be lucky. We're looking for a miracle to just poof, happen to us. And that's what I love about this work that I teach people, how to create through conscious intention versus wishing on a star or hoping to be lucky. I created my vision, and now I've created a bigger vision, because each time you hit those milestones, you continue creating. Hello, gorgeous, and welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Rebel podcast. And in today's podcast, it's all about the vision creation. Vision creation is something I had no idea about until somebody very close to my heart turned me on to understanding how important it is to live with a very clear plan of where you're going. Would you go on a ship and then just let the wind take you anywhere? Most of us are living our lives with that level of lack of focus and lack of intention and direction. So it is so important to really guide your life intentionally to having a bigger vision. I thought that I knew a lot about what I wanted, where I was going, and who I was until I reached my 40th birthday and had a rude awakening, because as I got closer to 40, there were things that had happened. For example, my husband and I had turned on the idea at 35 that, oh, you know what, maybe we actually do want to have a child, even though we really didn't want to have a child. But all my friends were having babies around me. And I thought, well, why shouldn't I have a baby too? But had I taken the time to really look in my heart and create a life that was truly following my truth and my real desires, I wouldn't have even gone down that rabbit hole. Okay. So for 2 years or three, we both had various different operations to have the child because it wasn't happening just through natural means. I say all the time that for us, thank goodness it didn't happen and we didn't push it further, because as I did come into my 40th birthday, I realized that I'd gone down a path that wasn't my own path. I was being influenced by those people around me. I was letting other people's desires become my own desires that weren't really my truth, right? And also, I wasn't where I expected to be at 40 years old. One of the things that really struck me and hit hard was that I was financially dependent on my husband, which really wasn't a fun thing for a 40-year-old woman to come face to face with, especially someone who had discovered at a very young age an insane amount of talent regarding the ability to help other people shift their perspective, shift their mindset, shift their heart set, and move into a place of empowerment within their own head, within their bodies, within the way they operated in their day-to-day life. So finding myself financially dependent, even though I had all of that talent, was quite a shock to my system. And it made me start to think about how I hadn't really planned what my 40th birthday looked like. I hadn't thought through what I really wanted to feel and experience. What did I want my bank account to look like? What did I want to have achieved and accomplished? And it's not that 5-year plan thing that people talk about, which I believe comes a lot from the mind more than it really comes from creating a life that's truly aligned with what you really want from your soul's perspective, right? And then taking decisions every single day that move your ship into the direction of the south because you want beach and you want warmth and you want to swim with dolphins, right? And so you need to go to the warm place. And so you're then more intentional in the direction that your life is going. So seeing where I was at 40, the one thing was financial independence, or dependency rather. And the other thing was impact. I was not making the impact that I thought I'd be making at that point because already at a young age, I started having quite a bit of success with people being interested in my work as a teacher, guide, mentor. So I thought I would have written a bunch of books. I would have created a whole ton of trainings and programs. I'd already have shared stages with some great speakers and I'd be living my full potential as a transformational coach. But guess what? I hadn't even written my first book. I hadn't created any trainings because I hadn't spent time thinking about that. That's what I wanted to do. I wasn't using a vision of my life that I was moving towards. I was just hoping that success would happen to me, hoping that I would get lucky. And because I think deep down inside, we're all looking to be saved. We're looking to be lucky. We're looking for a miracle to just poof, happen to us, right? And here's the thing, miracles do happen. And I've experienced so many of them. It's literally, I could spend weeks and weeks recording, just telling about the miracles that I have created for my own self and that I've experienced with the clients that I've had the privilege to serve. Because at that 40th birthday, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, Mahima, this isn't good enough. I don't care what anyone says about, everyone looking at me from the outside. I was living the life. I had a great life. I had a wonderful husband that adored and loved me. We lived in this beautiful 5.5 bedroomed apartment in Zurich, Switzerland, one of the most beautiful countries in the world. We traveled to beautiful locations and lived a free life. I could explore my artwork, which is something I really loved and spent a lot of time in my art studio painting. I had a meditation room where I would meet up with clients and do some meditations with them. And I even did some one-on-one coachings with people. But looking at all of that from other people's perspective, it was like, yeah, what you complaining about? Your life's amazing. You have so much freedom in it and you're doing what you love doing. But from my perspective, I was letting myself down. I was letting myself down big time because I felt like I had potential that was stuck inside me and I wasn't unleashing it. So I took a good look at myself in the mirror and I just owned that. I owned this isn't good enough. It's not good enough, Mahima. You should be further. You should have done so much more and you need to change this. So it was a sombering moment. Obviously, I partied well for the 40th birthday itself, right? I enjoyed myself and had a good time. But a couple of days later, I really started to sit down and think about how I was going to change this so that my 45th birthday, my 50th birthday were completely different and I became more intentional, right? So I remember one of the first things that I came up with as part of my new vision was that I needed another coach. I needed help. I needed support because with the knowledge and the information I had, I couldn't get myself further. I just didn't have the knowledge and awareness to break out of the stuck place where I was, to come up with the ideas that would get me further. As the magic happens, as the miracle happens, as soon as you know what you want, the universe is providing. And that's what I love about this work that I teach people, how to create through conscious intention versus wishing on a star or hoping to be lucky, right? This world needs leaders like yourself. It needs people that are ready to come together and work together to make themselves and the world a better place. I've helped other people, many people all over the world, up to thousands of people, reclaim their inner power in order to make powerful decisions that changed the course of their life. That's what the Happy Human Tribe is about. That's the invitation. Click the link below and join me for this extraordinary journey. I can't wait to see you inside of the training. Love. So yeah, there I was sitting in this event, which I actually didn't go to intentionally. I went to meet with a lady that had some products for my hair. Now, you may know, that as a woman, especially a woman of color, Black woman, you need special products for your hair. So she was going to provide those products for me. And she said, listen, I'm going to this event, meet me over there. And so I went to an event. I didn't know what was going on at the event. I didn't know who would be there. And I didn't know what I was going to encounter over there. But as I sat down, I came in the room a little bit late. I saw her and I went and sat next to her and she was like, shh. And then I started listening. And that is where I aligned with two of the most powerful coaches I've ever worked with, Kane and Lesia Minkus. You may have heard of them. As soon as he started talking and telling what was possible if you worked with him, I knew this is exactly what I called in. This is the opportunity. So at that moment, he was offering a 3-day event. So I signed up. I jumped up and signed up for that 3-day event. And at the 3-day event, I signed up. I invested for the first time in my life a huge number. I'd never invested 30,000 US dollars in one go. Had I invested that over the years that I was traveling and working on myself? Yeah. But in one go to one coach, no, that was a new level of in believing in myself and investing in myself. But there was no way that I was going to reach my 45th birthday. And I know that time flies like this, right? Anywhere close to the situation that I was in at that moment. So that was what was clear to me. And so when the miracle, I call it a miracle, happened that I meet these two amazing coaches and I had the wisdom and the heart to, even though I was scared, really scared, like, oh my God, 30,000, that sounds insane. I jumped in. I said yes. I said yes to myself and immediately started transforming my world. One of the things that Kane told me is that I needed a book to put my programs together in a completely different way. Hello, beautiful, and thank you so much for being a supporter of the Spiritual Rebel podcast. I want to give you the invitation to get my international best-selling book, The Superstar Code, where I share the 7 secrets, 7 steps, 7 transformational tools that you need to create the life that you're absolutely passionate about living. You can absolutely create a life that you're totally passionate about living with the freedom, the finances, the relationships that you want. My Superstar Code book is going to help you achieve that in a quicker and more fun way. Go ahead, click the button and get the book and enjoy with me. That summer, like literally months after that, I started writing my first. I have 2 international best-selling books. So I wrote my first one and I started creating a bigger vision for myself. I started seeing myself on stages with great other speakers in awesome events. I started seeing myself, doing my own events with hundreds of people and, transforming their lives. I started seeing myself doing things I didn't even have as a vision. I wasn't even thinking about it before these 2 amazing coaches came into my life and started really questioning how I was operating with my gift and how I was going to serve and make a bigger impact in the world. And obviously, I started to move out of financial dependency with my husband. I started impacting hundreds to thousands of people's lives. And I started feeling like, yeah, now I'm really creating my life according to my bigger vision. But that bigger vision didn't just, pop in my head. I needed to Be intentional in taking time to be quiet and really thinking, not what I thought was possible, because a lot of us work with what we think is possible. And when you're creating a bigger vision, it's not about what you think is possible. It's more about what you really want. What do you really want to create? What are you really ready to step into? What isn't in your life right now that you want? You just want it. Yeah. Your heart wants it. And this is so important. This part of the bigger vision comes from your heart resonance, right? Comes from your spirit, comes from your soul. That is where you dare to think beyond the confinements of what the society told you. The society told me that with the education I had, there's no way I could become a 6-figure, 7-figure international trainer and coach. With the knowledge that I had studied in India, right? Where I didn't get certifications. Yeah. When you spend 5 years with an Indian guru going every day and meditating with him for 4 to 5 hours every day over a 5-year period, they don't give you a certification afterwards. Like, here, you're now a certified trainer, right? I could have let that stop me. I could have let that limit me. But I knew that that time I'd invested looking inside of myself and training, yeah, was enough for me to feel super confident being on any platform where I had the grace and great fortune to be invited to train. So when I was invited to Google to give a workshop over there, my mind or ego could have stopped me like I'm not good enough. But no, I felt like I put the time in. I've been doing this for over 15 years, right? When you create a bigger vision that comes from your heart, you open up a portal, yes, to something that's going to give your life direction, clear direction. You'll start being able to make decisions that are soul aligned. You won't feel like you're just floating around without a clue in the world. You'll recognize the magic when it comes in, and you'll be able to say yes, even when fear steps in and says, you're not good enough. This isn't, you can't do this. You'll be like, no, I called this in. I called this in before it arrived. This is exactly what I've asked the universe to provide me. So I'm going to step beyond my limiting beliefs. I'm going to step beyond my scared mind. I'm going to step beyond the small me that's trying to hold me back. And I'm going to step into yes, yes, and thank you. Yes, and thank you. Yes, and thank you. Yes, and thank you. And that's what I started doing. And guys, I can tell you that on my 45th birthday, I was in a completely unrecognizable world. By my 50th birthday, I'd blown every idea that I had about being limited out of the water. And yeah, I created my vision, and now I've created a bigger vision, because each time you hit those milestones, you continue creating. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to share with you the power of having a big vision, having a great vision that is aligned with your soul. Dare to dream it, dare to think it, and step into the power that is your imagination, that allows you to start living a purposeful life. You can create anything that you can think of. You just need to have the guts to declare it, to own it, and to form that vision from the invisible into the visible. You can do it. And if you feel like you can't do it on your own, maybe I'm that person who's going to help you to do this, right? Not just to think it, but also then to implement and create it. Have a wonderful time and keep believing in yourself. Keep going after your dreams. So much love. Bye.